Hey you guys, it's Crystal from the Abundantly Blessed Homestead, where we use the wisdom of our ancestors to make amazing, nourishing, delicious meals for our family and grow some of our own food. Today is an update video. I know I said I'd get videos out for you guys. Christmas was nuts, and adding on to the Christmas craziness was literally every appliance inside my house breaking. My dishwasher still needs to be repaired. It's still running, but it's leaking, so it's just been nuts because I tried to repair it myself. And I did. I successfully repaired several things. And I'm very, very proud of myself, but it's been nuts, and so I haven't had the time to make videos. So, for instance, my washing machine broke, which the motor blew two of the electronic boards. That was above my head and way too expensive to fix. So that one went, and then we had to get a new used washer, and we got that one here, and I loved it, but then the Speed Queen became available, and everyone always wanted a Speed Queen, and it was no electronics, so hey, sign me up. I love things without electronics. And so then I had to sell the other washer, and then install the new washer, and then on Christmas my oven broke. The actual baking element went out, but luckily I had another stove sitting here that was broken because the cooktop didn't work. So we swapped them on out, and it was a little bit crazy. Then yesterday, I spent a good portion of the morning replacing the elements in my glass cooktop on my old stove so I can sell it. And today, I spent everything up to this video installing a new kitchen sink faucet, so that's on there. Anyway, make a long story short, it's been a long time, and I apologize. It has just been nuts, you guys. So, that being said, I do plan to do the live cooking class next Tuesday at 5:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going to make an amazing from scratch, a kid-approved meal. I'm so tired too. I've had a couple of rough nights with baby. So, anyway, we plan to do the live cooking class next Tuesday. And then stick around on this video because I am going to show you guys how I condition and seal my countertops naturally without chemicals. And so I will show you guys how to do that. The other thing I did was I ordered a Excalibur dehydrator that was used, and it got to my house, and it was of no fault of the person I bought it from. But the connections on the inside of it had disintegrated. They were like rusty, and they got brittle. And from being transported across the United States, that disintegrated. So I fixed those wires this morning, put new connectors on them. I am not an electrician, but I've sure been doing a lot of electric stuff lately. Anyway, so stick around. I'm going to be resealing my countertops. Like I said, this is a non-toxic way to do it, and I'm going to show you exactly how. So what we're going to be using is called Pure Tung Oil, and this is from the Real Milk Paint Company. The address online is realmilkpaint.com. Yes, they do sell actual milk paint, you guys. If you want non-toxic paint, amazing company to buy from. But this is more so for wood countertops. This is the same stuff I use for my concrete floors. Anything that's porous that you want to make waterproof, this stuff will work very well. Even if you don't have concrete floors or wood countertops, if you have wood cutting boards, you should be conditioning them regularly. The reason why those wood cutting boards crack is because they dry out, and also if you let them soak inside the water of your sink and then they dry, it's the humidity difference that causes the cracking. So this stuff really, really works well. So realmilkpaint.com, Pure Tung Oil. There's a couple of different colors. I believe this is the dark one. It doesn't say. But this covers about 400 square feet. So you need one of these, and then a smaller container of citrus solvent. You could use mineral spirits if you'd like. This is a healthier version of mineral spirits. This is citrus solvent. It's just citrus oil, essentially, in this little thing, and you can get it from the same realmilkpaint.com. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to be doing just this small area. I'll show you guys. Right around the sink faucet face here, because I had to sand this. Unfortunately, our old faucet leaked and damaged my wood countertop here. So I sanded it the best I could, but now it's exposed. You guys can see the light Even back here you can too. Right in there from sanding. So this is raw wood, so it needs to be sealed again, but this is not a huge square foot area, so we're just going to mix a little bit of the oil up. Okay, so as far as a ratio goes with the tongue oil versus the citrus solvent, I started out as a 50-50 mix, but it seems like, oh, I'm sorry, I started out as a 75% of the pure tongue oil and 25% citrus solvent. And if you're doing your very, very first coat, that's what I would recommend for ratios. Even on my concrete floors, that's what I used. But then I went ahead and switched down to 50-50. So I'm just going to go ahead and just estimate this. Like I said, I'm not going to need very much. So I'm going to try and do about 2 tablespoons of the oil. This is what it looks like. Okay. And this is just, you don't have to be, it's not a science. Basically, the more citrus solvent that you put into the mixture, the faster your countertops or your flooring or whatever you're doing it with will soak it in. So that's that. And then we're just going to go ahead and I'm just going to take a paper towel. I'm just going to mix this up. And this, the only fumes from doing this is the delicious citrus orange scent, because that's what we have in here is a whole bunch of citrus oil. So let's come on over here and I'll show you guys how I do it. So all we're going to do is just put one light coat on the countertop. You don't want to put so much that it gets gummy. And this is going to take several coats to darken back up like the rest of the countertop did, and it currently is. And so we're just going to keep on applying. So we're going to put one coat on, and then we're going to go ahead and let it dry and come back. Same thing around this soap dispenser. It had to get sanded as well. So I'm just going to put a light coat on, and we're not going to be using the sink while this dries. You don't want any water to get on there. But just a nice light coat. And then what we're going to do is this is going to set for 1 hour, and then we're going to come back with another paper towel and wipe that excess off and then do another coat. Okay, so while that's drying, I'm just going to show you guys here. This is how you tell when your countertops need a little bit more love and attention. This is where I do all of my live cooking classes, and you guys can see how certain parts, like in here, is just like a lighter shade, right, of the wood grain. So we're just going to add oil to it. And usually once your countertops have about 4 coats on them, the initial 4 to 5 coats, you only will have to come back and retouch them up with like 1 coat. And depending on how much you use your countertops will depend on, you know, how often you have to recoat them. But this stuff works really, really well. I'm not going to do back here underneath the knife set because all of this is still sealed. In fact, if you rub your hand over it, you can feel the oily, slippery texture. So it doesn't need any more oil. And even if I coated it, it wouldn't soak it up. So we're going to just let this dry, and this will be nice and conditioned. You guys can see the difference. This is the color it's going to be. They just look like brand new countertops, and my house smells amazing like citrus. So it's a win-win. And ignore the dirty dishes. We have them too. So this is dry, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more. All the way around the area. This is going to dry for another hour, and we'll touch it up one more time. So you guys probably noticed I did not remove any excess oil before I reapplied the second coat around the sink faucet, and the reason why is because it already soaked up a majority of the oil, so there was no need to wipe it clean. Basically, you just keep coating until the surface that you're coating isn't taking on any more oil. Then you know you're done. And you just wipe the excess off, it'll dry, and it's ready to use. They do say, like with floors, all of my floors when I originally did them, you coat them and you should only be wearing socks and not have anything rough, like furniture scraping for a certain amount of time. With the countertops, I typically try to give it at least a couple hours before I return things to the countertop, especially if it's something that's like wood, like my chop block. If I had coated underneath that, I wouldn't have returned it. Anything that's going to absorb the oil from the countertop, you'd obviously want to keep it off. Anything like cutting boards, if you go to use the oil on that, I would let it sit for a day before I would use it. But like I said, all of this is all safe stuff to eat off of. It's not harmful at all. So once again, the products that we use, pure tongue oil from Real Milk Paint Company. The website is realmilkpaint.com. Awesome stuff. And then also I grabbed their citrus solvent. They do sell odorless mineral spirits, but I wanted something that's 100% safe on these countertops because our food sits here. So this is their citrus solvent. It's a little bit pricey. I just buy it in a small 32-ounce container. And I bought this at the same time, so I used about half of the tongue oil, and the citrus solvent's almost gone. But these are really, really great products. It's a really, really great company. I don't get anything for referring you guys there, but that's all there is to it. You just keep on coating until your surface that you're sealing stops taking it on, and then you're finished. So I hope you guys like this video, and please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the live cooking class next Tuesday night, 5:15 p.m. Central Time. We're going to do it. We're going to make an amazing meal. I'll see you guys then.